This is a call to action. Anybody watching this, if you're in Canada, if if you've developed a career in music, if you're a musician, you have a passion for wanting to pass on your knowledge onto the next generation of musicians, feel free to get a hold of us. Info at mightandmusic.org.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now. Grant, thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it, as always. Different topic today. The very first time that you and I talked was one of my first interviews, and that probably was August 2020, I think, in which we spent a little bit of time about you learning, quote unquote, the hard way that running a label and being a business guy is not your thing, and that you're a musician first. So what has changed? Because we have Might and Music now.
Yeah, I forgot it that I said that, to be honest. And I think what has changed is like the big thing with Might and Music is that it's been something not that I've really pursued, or that I've like tried to create. It's something that has like called me to pursue it. Yeah. So it's like one of those things where I didn't necessarily plan for this to happen, but it's happening, right? So it all started talking about my experience through going through a music program when I was a teenager that had a long-lasting effect on my whole life. It's where I met Andrew, who I still play with 20 years later. So it was a very pivotal moment in my life, and I'd spoken about this many times online in interviews, and everyone's just been like, "Hey, man, you should put on a program like that. You should do this. You should do this." And it finally got to the point where I just kind of broke, and I was like, "We're doing it, right?" So, and that's kind of how Might and Music was born, really, through the power of community and a good cause.
You're finalizing a new album, you'll be touring like crazy, you'll have press requests all over, you're running a Twitch channel, and then you decided, you know what, I don't have anything on my hands right now, so let's start this whole new project.
Exactly. I grew a third arm too in the middle of it. I wish.
For the people that are watching this that didn't see the initial releases and were part of the launch event, what should people know about this project? Like you obviously already hinted on a few things, but what really is the concept?
Right. So Might and Music Foundation is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing mentorship and education, music education to youth and kids. So it really came out of my experience, and also the budget cuts in schools across Canada, music programs getting cut, kids, there not being that outlet available for kids who are maybe a little alternative, who don't quite fit in, they we're in like an identity crisis in our teenage years, right? And we're looking for a community to fit in. And what we want to achieve is providing the resources for those kids to be able to thrive in. And so what we've done is I've assembled music mentors across Canada. We're focusing in Vancouver, BC right now to pilot our programs, but it's really about providing mentorship and positive role models to youth is the basic premise.
Yeah. Now you're that immediately makes me believe that this is not just about the actual playing an instrument piece to it. So maybe to kind of make the parallel with your own experiences in those groups, like, do you remember like one of those aha moments when you're a kid and all you dream about is playing your guitar and being a rock star, but that in a program like that and learning from others, there were different lessons you learned?
Yeah, the program that I went through was more focused on just kind of getting you to jam out some songs and have fun with it, right? But one of the hidden, not really hidden, but the things that we want to achieve that adds to the element of just getting kids to learn how to play songs is to teach them about the music business, about running businesses, about setting goals, about managing your finances, about having a vision for your life and how to reverse engineer that, right? So it's one, yeah, about getting them inspired to and helping them find other like-minded musicians like themselves, but it's also about teaching them lessons that will continue past the program into whatever they decide to do, whether it be music or whether it be something else. I mean, the biggest dream that I want to have happen out of this is, 10 years, 20 years down the line, the next insert big band here comes out of this program and they met in this program and they became successful because of the tools and the mentorship that they learnt through Might in Music. That's going to be one of the biggest gratifying pieces when it comes full circle. When you have students who came through the program who are now music mentors mentoring the next wave of musicians, right? And it's about this continual mentorship program, right? And it's going to happen within the students themselves. The plan is to it's an 8-week program. Our first program, Amplify, which is launching in April in Vancouver. And then at the end of the 8 weeks, this program is going to run 4 times a year. At the end of the 8 weeks, there's going to be a performance for all the bands involved. So they're going to have, they're going to work 8 weeks, learn a bunch of covers with a music mentor, get taught all this music business life skills. And then 8 weeks after that, you play a big performance, family and friends. And then one of those bands will become the Amplify showcase band in that area, the best of the best band. And then the idea is to then take that band and use them to do small little concerts in their own school systems. They'll do like a little mini tour of their own schools, doing little performances, and that'll create another mentorship between the young kids, seeing middle school, high school kids performing, students that aren't much older than them, inspiring them, and they're like, oh man, I could do that, in hopes that little Johnny goes home that day and asks mom to buy a guitar for Christmas instead of a Xbox. I'm hoping, and I really want this for myself, is to mentor other kids, right? There's these kids out there that have all this potential, all this untapped potential, and they just need the right role model or mentor to be able to give them these opportunities, right? And so I'm hoping with our organization we can find those kids and really help them succeed.
This is the night.
You mentioned, there's a lot of kids out there with untapped potential. Does that mean that in order to be part of this, there needs to be already some pre-work? This is not a beginner's course for people that want to learn how to play guitar, it sounds like.
Yeah, so our first program, Amplify, does require at least 1 year of experience on an instrument. But we've partnered with another nonprofit charity here in town called Empower Through Music.
Okay.
One of our music mentors, Chris Schultz in Might in Music, he's the founder of that charity. He also runs a music school here in Vancouver called Horizon School of Music. So between the two of us, he's got a program that more focuses on the kindergarten to grade 6. We decided, we met last week to go over everything to make sure that we're complementing each other,
right,
and just filling in each other's gaps instead of trying to trip over each other. So for us, it's this is one program that we're introducing in April. we plan to introduce more programs to be able to serve youth and kids in many different ways. But we're starting with Amplify because it's what I know. It's going to be our pilot program. It's what's going to get us going. And then as time goes on, the idea is to listen to the community, listen to the schools, listen to the youth and what they actually need and want.
Let's say that I'm a little bit younger than I am today, and let's say that I know a lot better how to play an instrument. I'm interested in this program. What do I do?
Mightandmusic.org. Go to our website there. You click on programs, and you can sign up. So at the moment, we're launching it in Vancouver in April. It's an 8-week program. We have 50 spots available for this first pilot program, and what this first program is going to be is really, we're developing the program. This is our first launch. It's a pilot program. It's completely free to students, and the idea after that is when we make a successful program in Vancouver here, then we'll try to introduce it to other communities, facilitated by other great musicians around the country. The idea is to offer it to all genres and to bring on music mentors of all genres and backgrounds as well. Okay. So this is a call to action. Anybody watching this, if you're in Canada, if you've developed a career in music, if you're a musician, you have a passion for wanting to pass on your knowledge onto the next generation of musicians, feel free to get a hold of us. info@mightandmusic.org.
Rise up, we will find there's a way for us to carry on. For one second.
I asked you about some positive stuff that came out of your own programs, and obviously maybe the most positive thing that came out of that program for the fans of Unleash the Archers at least would be that you met up with Andy, and that is still going strong. Is there, when you were thinking about building a program like that, is there something that you now know in your career that you go like, if only I had a mentor at the time, I wouldn't have made this mistake?
I mean, yeah, thousands of things, really. And you're gonna really have to go through the program to get it all. But if I had to give you like the most important thing that I wish I knew, to be honest, I think the biggest piece of advice I can give anybody is just to trust the process. Right? And I know that sounds so cliche and everything, right? But just in anything, not your music career, anybody's anything, just trust the process. Downswings are going to happen, they're followed by upswings. You're not always in the gutter, you're not always high, those end too, right? So it's about cherishing the highs and realizing that the lows aren't going to last forever. When it comes to specific advice around your music career, the biggest thing is to practice. These are all very obvious things, right? Mm-hmm. But it's to practice and to work on your craft as much as possible, and try as much as you can to always put out the best product that you can. And that doesn't mean sit on a song and revise it 100 times until it's the perfect version. It means that your packaging, your artwork, your photos, all that is of highest quality, because you're going to release that music, and all the photos, art is going to be attached to it, including the quality of the recording as well. And then that lives forever like that. Right? So there's albums that I've done in the past where the quality is just really horrible, and it's embarrassing to listen back to. And it is part of your journey, and it's part of your history. You can look back and be like, okay, I've come a long way from that. But And then the other big thing is to respect your fans, you know, and harness that fan base and produce the other. It comes down to good quality content as well. It comes down to good videos. You right?
Yeah.
We're in the digital age right now where everything is visual. We need music videos. If you don't have a music video, you don't exist as a band, essentially. First impressions are everything, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you have a few seconds to decide whether or not you're going to pursue this further. You know, whether you're going to listen to this, whether you're going to click on this link, or, you know, anything is all on first impressions. And you if you lose, and it sucks, it's you know, the substance behind it could be incredible. But for anybody to even get to know you, you have to break that first impression mold. And if you don't have high quality promotional material, like we just said, you're not even going to get looked at, which is a shame. There's probably hundreds of bands who aren't getting looked at just because their logo is unlegible or whatever, what have you.
Exactly. You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.